What's up, you guys? My name is Cordell, and I am in here to do my first official TV show review for the show Chucky. I am doing episode 3 called Hail Mary, and I decided to start doing reviews on Chucky because it's one of my favorite shows out right now, and I decided, like, damn, I love talking about this show. I talk about it with my friends, and now I decided to make, just make some videos about it. I know I'm a little late. We're like 3 episodes into season 2, but, I figure, better late than never. So, yeah, and sorry about the iPhone low budgetness. I know everybody's used to the whole camera setup and everything, but I haven't decided how I want my channel and how I want my setup to be just yet. So for right now, I want to be my true authentic self, which is from my low budget ass phone. So yeah, just stick with me, y'all. Episode 3, Hail Mary of Chucky. Episode 3 picks up at I believe the kids in the classroom. And if you watched last week's episode, they have Chucky tied up, or a version of Chucky tied up in one of the kids' bedroom. It picks up in the classroom. The kids were in the classroom, and they, Jake is in class looking at I think looking at different pictures of Jesus Christ, and while the teacher is explaining the things to him, or none, I should say. I think Jake is going through a lot right now. Jake is going through a lot because he's trying to get redemption for what happened to the little boy in episode 1. And he blames himself a lot for what happened to that boy, even though in my personal opinion, the little motherfucker was a little annoying. I hate to say it like that, but I mean, all them Batman quotes and shit, like, you knew it was a fucking bomb when they first told you it was. And I know you a kid, but stop touching shit and you would still be here. But neither here nor there. I just wanted to say, I think Jake is really going through a hard time because he's the one who's going through, I want to say he's the one who's kind of battling this whole depression thing in a different way. His is going directly towards the Christian way. And I know some of you don't see it coming yet, but I see it coming. I see him definitely probably becoming one of the fathers, under the father's thumb a little bit. And when I say the father, I don't mean the actual Jesus Christ. I'm talking about the priest, the head priest that is in charge of the school that he's in. I think that man is gonna be able to manipulate him in a lot of ways that we don't see yet. To be honest with y'all, I think that school, it's something weird with that entire school, because I don't think half them motherfuckers in that building are qualified to do the shit that they do. And I'm just saying, I'm just being honest. None of them seem actually qualified. Besides the teacher that actually seems like she's trying to help Jake, none of them seem qualified to do what they're actually there to do. So I'm a little skeptical on them, to be honest with you. But then, yeah, we cut from that and they go to the scene where they have Chucky tied up. And in the scene, they have Devin along with Chucky, and Chucky is like really taunting Devin, like, like, you ain't got it in you, kid. In true Chucky form, he's like, you ain't got it in you, kid. And he was just like, you ain't got it in you. I'm the master of this shit. I know who's got it and who don't, and you ain't got it. He's really getting under Devin's skin right now, and I think it's funny as heck, man, because Chucky knows how to get under these kids' skin. If there's anything he knows how to do, is to really get bothered, is really make these kids bothered. I really think Devin is having a hard time adjusting to the new way of life for these kids, and I would even say he's probably having the hardest time, along with Lexi, adjusting to new life at this school. I don't think it's Jake. Jake has been bouncing from home to home for a little minute now, for a little while now, and I think that Devin and Lexi come from homes that had, they had more functional homes, not necessarily Lexi with her mom, but I think her dad was a little more stable. And she comes from, a lifestyle of having everything she wants when she can get it. And Devin, was his mom's only kid, and so, like, he got all the love and affection. And he goes from a single parent home of just him and his mom to this boarding school, which is still fucking weird to me, actually, because you don't got no family, you ain't got no family friends who could have taken you in? I know he said he had an aunt, and you mean to tell me, and I remember last season he said I can only stay with my aunt for a week before I go into the foster care. What fucking family you got, my dude? Like, it's kind of weird to me. And since we're on the subject, I'm all over the place, but I gotta do this quick anyway. Since we're on the subject, I think it was the biggest mistake killing off these kids' parents. I'm gonna keep saying that. I was checking out my hairline, looked a little crooked. I'm gonna keep saying that. Killing off these kids' parents was probably a terrible mistake. Maybe Jake's parents, yes. Lexi's dad or mom, maybe. Devin's mom, no. I don't think she should have been hurt in any shape or form. I get it, the story needs progression, the story has to go somewhere, but I think killing off these kids' parents really limited the series in a lot of ways. And I'm just gonna be completely honest. I personally feel like they should have stayed at the school for another year, because I'm not really digging the whole boarding school thing just yet. I think that's something that should happen around season 3 or 4, because they look really young. So it could have been some time before they actually graduate high school. Anyways, yeah, Devin is having a hard time adjusting to new life. I could tell that there's a big gap from season 1 with him and Jake that we're seeing now. And as far as him, Jake, and Lexi, I can tell that their friendship is about to become estranged a little bit. And so anyways, Chucky is taunting him about killing his mom, letting him know he's weak and he can't do what it needs. He doesn't have what it takes to do what he needs to kill him. And in the middle of Devin about to prove Chucky wrong, here comes Jake stopping Devin. And Devin is a little, confused as to why Jake is so obsessed with keeping this Chucky around. And I think Jake has a big plan ahead, obviously. He's trying to figure out a way to stop him. To me, it's stupid. I think they should have just got rid of the Chucky, because this Chucky ain't telling them shit. They decide to come up with a plan to brainwash Chucky. And that goes over a little too well, in my opinion. It was kind of a little corny, but they brainwashed Chucky a little bit by having him strapped down, watching these horror movies and stuff about unicorns, and it actually works. It actually makes Chucky like this really good version of himself, so we think. And I was waiting for him to slash a motherfucker's neck in any minute. I really was. I was waiting for him to really go in on somebody. But it actually worked. And because the whole time with them brainwashing him, it seemed like it wasn't working at first. It seemed like he was making a joke out of it. Even when they were putting drops on his head, he was like, "Oh no, not the water drops." I just thought that he was fucking with them the entire time. And it looks like they actually did get to him. And so they brainwashed Chucky. They all wake up, and when I say they all, I mean Nadine, Jake, Devin, and Lexi. And speaking on Lexi's having a hard time herself. The team still doesn't know that Lexi is addicted to drugs. And well, I wouldn't say the team don't know, just Jake and Devin don't know, because Nadine figured it out, who I'm slowly starting to like a little bit. Nadine figured it out. And the boy who Lexi knew that her mom sent away, he knows, which I knew his whole preacher spill when she first saw him there. I knew that was fake. I knew his true colors were going to show eventually. Those two know that Lexi's having a hard time with drugs, and it seems like she's trying to open up to Jake and Devin, but they're not paying attention. They have so many other things going on, and they're not paying attention. I'm guaranteeing you, this is going to cause a rift in between their friendship, and all three of them are either going to turn on each other or just stop dealing with each other eventually, throughout the series of season 2. They all wake up to see Chucky, who is this new version of himself, and they all decide to take turns watching him. Devin doesn't like the idea of having to watch this new brainwashed Chucky, who is so childlike, and I ain't gonna lie, kind of cute in a little bit of a way. He's so childlike, and he's asking all these questions, and and Devin doesn't buy it. Devin's like me, to be honest with you. Devin's like me. We just need to get rid of the motherfucker, and that's what I would have did. And Devin, you know, storms out of the room. This is a quick review, you guys. Devin storms out of the room. Jake follows him, and they have a moment where they talk and discuss things. In the midst of them talking and discussing things about Chucky, we get fucking, excuse my language, we get the pastor who's watching these two, and I just knew it. I didn't know how long it was going to take for him to figure out that Jake and Devin were a thing. I knew it. The pastor saw them kissing, and I was like, damn, come on, man. Jake was the one who said they needed to cool it anyway, and they over here kissing and shit, which, by the way, I do not mind. I don't care. Love representation of all forms. Glad to see it for everybody. Just wanted to make that clear. I was like, damn, they over here really kissing and shit, and the pastor's watching everything. He's watching every part of this. And in my opinion, Jake was the one who said that they needed to hold back a little bit. I just think that they should have stuck to that, because they are in a situation away from home with no parents. Anything can happen to these kids, and people are malicious, and I don't know. I just think that it was a little too much right then and there, especially from the one who said that they needed to cool it off. So instead of going after Jake, the pastor goes after Devin and makes him and punishes him for an undisclosed reason that Devin doesn't know, except for he needs to return the doll. So that makes Devin even more pissed that he has to receive punishment for the doll that Jake has, which he thinks he has. And so we get there to that point. Damn, where was I? There's a lot in this episode. We get back to Nadine, I think. We get back to Nadine. Nadine goes and visit the church so that she can get repent for her sins. Now, I don't know why I thought in my head that Nadine was about to confess to some shit that she did, that she's doing on the low. Like, yeah, the day I slit this bitch throat. Yesterday I pissed in this motherfucker bed, because they already told you she was a bedwetter. You know, and then you know, I pissed in this girl's soup. You know, I thought it was some stuff like that. She's just rambling. Nadine just telling everybody business. And I mean everybody fucking business. Yeah, Lexi addicted to drugs. We got this killer doll on the loose. He after all of us. It's kind of weird. I should back out, but I want to stay in because it's so fucking exciting. Like I'm just like, she's just telling all the business, and all the while she's telling the business, the father, pastor, is getting choked out by another Chucky that arrived in midst of, you know, in the middle of the episode, you know, and this Chucky arrived perfect timing too, when Lexi was in the middle of talking to Nadine about how her life couldn't get any worse. And next thing you know, another fucking package comes. I skipped that part because I forgot that part. Yeah, so they start talking about that, and as Nadine is in confessing herself, this Chucky is killing the father or pastor. And I'm not an avid churchgoer, and I won't pretend to be, so you guys please don't be offended by me not knowing everyone's position. I just don't. I'm a firm believer in God. I go to church when I can, and firm believer in God, but I'm not going to act like I am an avid churchgoer or I know the Bible word by word. And I got to put all these, disclaimers in, because people get really offended these days, and so you got to be careful. So anyways, that Chucky comes out, and I already could tell this, besides before he even killed him, when I seen him sitting on the head guy's desk, I said, damn, this one looked crazy. He looked crazier than the first one that showed up at the church or school. And so and we're gonna find out how crazy he really looked later on, which I don't really agree with, but okay. So Nadine, they go back to the room, and they find out that this Chucky is gone, and everyone is kind of figuring out, where the fuck is this Chucky at? And this Chucky then when I say this Chucky, I mean the Chucky that they brainwashed and made into a nice guy. So that Chucky then ran off, And they go off to look for him. And then in the midst of that, Jake finds out that Devin is being punished for something. And he figures out why he's being punished, and the pastor tells him it's because of the doll, which for all of us, we all know the real reason why. Pastor Kim, we all know the real reason why. He's, you know, the old saying, they're not too appreciative of the LGBTQ. At least this one isn't. So we find out, you know, we go back to the scene. Devin tells Jake to give the doll back because this doll is ruining their lives and everything. And they have a little moment, another one. And I'm like, dang, y'all just gonna keep making the situation worse for yourselves. Like, I get it. Don't hide who you are. But when you ain't got no parents, you really ain't got no leg to stand on. The system don't give a damn about you. And so, anyways, we go back to, so Lexi has a breakdown. She's hyperventilating because I believe, I skipped some. I'm terrible at this. I'm rushing, you guys. I got shit to do. Somebody's waiting for me. Lexi goes off to the bathroom because that boy is bothering her. And she learns that her mom lost the election. She learns that this boy is trying to blackmail her and saying that he owns her. And I can tell he's just going to be a problem for her. Not for long, but he's going to be a problem for her. And so during the midst of that, Nadine comes in and they have a talk. And if you remember, Nadine talked to the father and said that she wasn't going to let Lexi just stand by and become an addict like her mom is. And which I thought was pretty dope. I'm really liking Nadine's character. She's a little weird, but I really like her. I like weird. I'm weird. This video's weird. So anyways, Nadine and Lexi have a moment. And in the midst of that moment, the other Chucky is still missing. And in the midst of this moment of Nadine and them having this moment, I forget his name, Trevor, that's his name. Trevor walks in to plant drugs on Lexi. And see, this is one of them things where if Trevor had minded his business, shut the fuck up, and not been on some spiteful shit, he might still be alive. Because now Trevor is trying to plant stuff on somebody, and he planted something on Lexi. And in the midst of him doing that, the other Chucky walks in. And I'm thinking it's the nice Chucky, and I'm still thinking this could go either way. And it's the new one that just arrived. And out of nowhere, all I see is all I hear is footsteps, and Trevor just get punched the fuck out by this new Chucky. And I said, why did y'all, Jake last season had this problem. Jake let Chucky just beat his ass. And I'm like, how is this happening? How y'all letting him just fuck you up like this? And so, and I'm thinking to myself, that punch kind of hard for a doll and for Chucky at that, because Chucky don't never hit nobody that hard and it be like that. And next thing you know, all you see is a fist goes through Trevor, and he's begging for his, well, before that, he was begging for his life. A fist goes through Trevor, and he gets and his heart gets ripped out. And I said, Chucky ain't never been able to do no shit like that. And then you see him, and he's this deeper voice Chucky. And it's kind of weird, and you think something's a little off. And in my opinion, I didn't like it. I think that's a little too much. I like for you to keep it natural. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I didn't care for that part too much. So basically Trevor's dead in the middle of the floor. The kids come back, they see the dead body on the floor, and everybody starts to freak out. They think the other Chucky did it, or they don't even know who did it. They don't think Chucky could have done something like that. They think somebody else did it. And if I was Lexi, I would have told them to kiss my ass, because I thought they were going to insinuate that she did it. And I'm thinking, how the fuck I'm going to do this? You got to kill a fucking doll that you won't get rid of. How I'm going to do it? We know who did it. And so they see the dead body. Next thing you know, the teacher comes for inspection. Nadine comes up with a plan quickly on her feet. You know, sometimes it pays to be crazy because you can get away with a lot of shit. Nadine comes up with a plan quickly to hide the boys and hide the body. And the nun, who I'm still a little cautious on, one of the nuns comes and she kind of, she kind of gets sick of Nadine quick. I know Nadine because I feel like I got somebody who I work with that's kind of like Nadine, and I have quick conversations with this person too, and I just get the hell on. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, see you later. And so that's what the nun did. So all the while they're still trying to figure out who did this, who could have possibly done this. And then they cut to the scene of the nice Chucky sitting at the desk of the head guy's desk. I keep saying head guy, he's pastor's desk. And they see him clapping his hands, singing a unicorn song. Looking cute as shit. I mean, I ain't even gonna lie. Looking cute as shit. Someone trust it. You kill the motherfuckers first chance I get. But, then next thing you see the shadow of the new Chucky just walk in. Heavy footsteps. And the entire time, this one, I already knew by the voice. I said, oh, they done did something to this one. This one buff as shit. Buff as fuck. And I ain't gonna lie, it's funny. It's funny as fuck, but I didn't care for it. I thought that was a little much. It's one of the things, like I just said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I get it, they're trying to add different elements to it, but I didn't like it. It was a little much. I'm hoping they go somewhere, with this, and I hope he don't stay around too long, but I will say this Chucky this one gonna give them hell. This one gonna be a time on their hands, and they better pray the other one don't snap back, he'll snap back into place, because they gonna be trouble. Yeah. So far I'm enjoying season 2. Oh, I'm sorry, it ends on that scene. I skipped a lot of parts in various parts, but I'm rushing to got somewhere to be. I actually got a date. I'm enjoying the show so far. I mean, I'm really enjoying it. Season 2 is great. I do hate that they killed off all the parents. I do hate that the kids got sent off to boarding school. At first it was cool. I thought I was gonna like it. And it's darker element to it, but I was like, no, I think they should have stayed in high school and him cause terror at the high school a little bit more instead of at the boarding school. But this adds a different aspect to it. I'm enjoying it. I can't wait to see what happens next. I will be back in here to do a review. I know y'all not gonna like this review. I really don't care, but I just want to make sure that I do want to do a review that's more professional, more not so rushed, and a little more calm. But I just had to run in here and do this really quickly, you guys. And so stick with me. The next one will be better. This is a terrible review, but this is one I'm going to look back on and laugh at. But not too much, because I got a haircut. So I'm cool. Anyways, I'll see y'all next time.